Rebroadcast at 90.1 K211 BP Florence, in HD at 92.1 KSYD Reedsport, at 88.5 KAVE Oak Ridge, and in HD, this is 91.9 KRVM, Eugene, Springfield.
And streaming on the internet at krvm.org.
Question this time, the ears of errors, basket bay, wait for sea tides, take us away. Us here to stay in the valley of Adonai.
And you're listening to Soundscapes here on KRVM. It's Professor Bischoff here, and tonight we're happy to have a guest, artist whose music we played over the years. We have with us Ethan Matthews, and his current project is called Echo Us, and we just played a part of a. You call that? What did you call that? A suite there? Part of that suite?
Really, the first part of a suite. Yeah.
First part of a suite.
3 other parts after that, and kind of all flows together. So.
Excellent. What was the name? What's the name of the suite? What was the name of the part of that part?
That part is called the Ears of Eras. It's from something called Archaeus of Water.
Archaeus. What does Archaeus mean?
You know, that comes from the guy that did part of the vocal on this. I actually used a sample of him singing a meditation, and basically it's a Kabbalistic, but it's actually a fashion word that he fashioned, I believe. If you search Google for Archaeus, you won't find much except him.
Well, obviously it derives from archaic.
Right, exactly.
And aqueous. Are many eas, so it's what you're saying is that it's a made-up word.
He's saying that. I don't know exactly.
Of course, Shakespeare.
I don't know. I want to.
Shakespeare made up a lot of words. Yeah. And well, obviously, to just talk about the music right here, it feels both ambient and yet melodic, and yet also. A little bit improv, but it's not improv. But it sounds like you do a lot of work on it.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at composition is improv.
Okay.
Basically, it just comes out however it comes out. Sometimes it's in my head before I get down to record.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you some more questions about that because this sounds to a certain extent composed to sound improv. You know what I mean?
It's all off, all kind of off the top of my head, and I don't really ever sit down and score things out until after they happen. So I never look at a piece of paper really in the beginning.
All right, so this is called the Archaeus of Water, and this first cut we've had was, what's the name of it again?
Ears of Eras.
Ears of Eras. And what's the next one we're about to play?
The next one is called Anchors Away.
Anchors Away. Okay, let's Anchors Away here on KRVM. Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay. And what was the name of that cut again?
That's Anchors Away.
Anchors Away. So you have the water theme. Is this whole theme? Is this some sort of quest or a odyssey or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of these lyrics, actually. We could talk about the music, but the lyrics, why not? I mean,
that's where
the lyrics are really where I haven't written a lot of instrumental music until very recently again. So a lot of it the lyrics always come first. I get a melody, then I come on with whatever has to follow the lyrical theme. And a lot of this stuff, I actually did quite a bit of it through a technique called channeling, which is something, it has to do with being psychic, basically.
Oh, you're talking about spiritual channeling?
Spiritual, yeah.
Well, usually you tap into some psychic entity in that case.
I don't know what happened, but that's, when I was writing particularly this one and the one we'll hear after that, they have Judaic themes to them, and I'm not Jewish, but it's just what came to me. I was working so fast in the studio to get this stuff out, to get the vocals out, to get basically working within about 2 to 3 hours to get just a basic song form down in the studio.
Like you mentioned Kabbalah.
Yeah, and that's after I found
that's a Jewish system, a sort of magical system.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I've been studying metaphysics for a long time, since I was a teenager, really, but more seriously after this experience, because I'd never had my own experience with channeling. So I thought, well, it was a wild experience. Was this just something that happened to you while you were in the studio, or were you pursuing? It was just something that happened. I actually looked up the words to this stuff, which was particularly the unspoken name of God is Yod Vav He in Judaism, and it's supposed to be the unspoken name of God, right? And the big idea is that you don't. Traditionally, I'm not saying that people don't say that now, because if you look everywhere, but basically I looked up, I don't know whether it was Wikipedia or what it was, after the fact, after I had written, I had basically like scribbling down YHVH, and like what, or something that looked like it, because I don't know what I'm writing. I'm doing automatic writing, so I don't know. I'm just letting whatever comes out, and some of these lyrics, English lyrics came out that way too. And then I looked at it maybe about halfway through the session, and I was like, holy crap, I can't believe that because I didn't know about this before. I was raised Presbyterian a little bit, but Christian, but I'm not particularly religious. And so, I mean, that was kind of how this whole thing came about. It was completely spontaneous, unlike a lot of the other things that I've done over the years, which are more premeditated, I think. So this was really... It was why it was a blast to actually do. It was like catharsis,
exactly.
Getting it out.
Inspiration, of course, inspire. The word inspire means breath of God. Right. So that, it comes from someplace else. Yeah. So. Absolutely. But, I mean, the music itself has that, I guess, I think the funny thing happened once I was at a prog rock show, and we were sitting around at some, Denny's. And we were talking, and this woman in the booth next to us asked us, what was this show that was on? I said, it's progressive rock. And she says, can I hear some? And so we gave her something. And she listened to it for a few minutes on the earphones from the iPod. And she turns and says, it sounds like Yanni. And of course we were very upset.
Oh, yeah. Well, and to just take it from there, I mean, I've definitely listened to a lot of New Age and ambient music over the years and take a lot of things from that, and classical music to a degree. But Yanni was never quite something I got into.
Okay, well, but I think that this woman would say, well, this sounds kind of new agey as well. But then again, what I hear in it is a lot of influence from Mike Oldfield. When again, of course, we'll talk about Greyhaven later on. I heard no Mike Oldfield in Greyhaven to speak of.
And people even used to say Mike Oldfield back then, even around Greyhaven. But some people get it. I don't get it at all on that album.
And what was the name of that group that chanted, that used chants, and then kind of a dance background? Okay.
Enigma.
Oh, he played Enigma once in a while on that show.
He actually, I mean, there's definitely some of that in what I do as well, and he has like, I think, you know, the first album is all, you know, supposed to be sex music and whatnot, but after that it gets much more cerebral, and it's actually really interesting. I like it. I enjoy that kind of music as well, but it sounds very European, cheesy European sometimes. Yeah. And I couldn't get past that for years.
Trash.
For all that kind of music that was, you know, in that down tempo is another word for it. I was not into that for years.
Very louche.
Yeah.
I guess that's the word for it. But in any case, this kind of has a unique tang to it. I really like it. So tell us, what do you take it? What are your influences?
Well, I mean, it started out when I was a teenager, you know, battling it out with my guitar. It was Joe Satriani. It was all the metal stuff, Metallica, Megadeth, all that stuff. So I went through this phase of probably from like 12 through maybe 17, about the time Greyhaven started, and then that's why Greyhaven was partially a metal band, I think, as me and the other guitarists were big metal fans.
Cool.
But yeah.
Let's continue with that in a minute. Let's do a little business here. Here on KRVM, we're talking to Ethan Matthews of Echo Us, and previously Greyhaven, and we'll talk a little more to it in a moment.
Nothing short of everything is ever enough.
It's all I can say. Say don't go astray. The dark we choose this night? Did hope come part us alone to sleep, separate dreams? I think we chose this much. Hey, love, hey, it's all I can say. Say young and hey, love, hey, don't go astray. We can love,
Your dream pattern is a complex, synchronized set of emissions that complete their cycle and start again. It's to an ordinary dream state what a Bach fugue is to Mary had a little lamb. People are listening.
Before we go back and dance, what is I was thinking about Echo Us, and you go Echo Us. What do you see? What is the derivation of Echo Us? Well, how'd you come up with it? And it's 2 words.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like like RKS.
Or something that echoes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was just flipping around and wanted to actually get a new band name for the band I had at the time, and I always liked something to do with echoes or some kind of response, something that but the name Echo or even like any word that I could tack on to Echo just seemed to make it just kind of didn't really grab me, and then all of a sudden it just popped into my head, Echo Us.
Well, there's the famous Pink Floyd Echoes. Was there that in your mind as well?
Yeah.
Well, it could be one of the possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a play on Echoes from Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it actually didn't come from that. I mean, I had probably heard metal at the time in high school, but and there I was kind of looking around, and actually this is a funny story because the label boss that my first band Greyhaven was under, we were trying to change the name of the band before we released our debut record, and he was like, no, you absolutely can't change it to Echo Us. And so he's like, because we already were getting a bit of, some airplay with our original demo tape. This is back in 96, 97. And so he was like, no, you can't do that. So I was like, I just shelved the name for a while and a few years. And then when Greyhaven folded like 2000, halfway through 2000 or so, Echo Us became the music that I would end up doing, and but really what it means to me is kind of a circular loop of consciousness or something like that. It can be all kinds of things, and I think it's a little bit misunderstood.
So it's like reverb, or
it could be reverb.
A loop is the good term.
It could be all kinds of metaphysical things. I think of the great thing about it, and for me at least, is I could think about it, and think about it in a variety of different ways if I put my mind to it, and I think, at first it didn't really, when I was doing Echo Us, it was actually a band back in Boston, and it's turned into this project that it is now back here in the Pacific Northwest. And it was kind of a synth pop band actually back then, and I kind of went away from progressive rock and heavy metal where I was, and totally got into pop music and all kinds of stuff, and we were doing sort of industrial / synth pop stuff. And then, once that broke off and I came back here to Portland, it just ended out, moving into kind of the ambient direction that it's gone. So.
Right. Well, let's let the listener listen to some Greyhaven as a grounding for talking a little bit about Greyhaven.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
Could you give us some background to the song we're going to hear? What's the name of it to begin with?
Mirror My Eyes is the name of the tune. It was probably... It actually had a name before it, which I can't quite remember at this time on our original demo, and then we rearranged it for the debut album, which came out in 1999, end of 99, beginning of 2000. So
okay, so this is Greyhaven here on KRVM.
KRVM wishes to thank the following for their support of this station through our business membership program.
Rhythm and Blooms Florists at 24th and Hilliard, at the 5th Street Public Market, and at Delta Oaks, inside Market of Choice.
Cox and Schmick of Windermere, your natural resource in residential and commercial real estate.
The Pet Spa Pet Grooming. Information at 541-343-6833.
Studio One Cafe by the U of O campus at 1473 East 19th Avenue in Eugene.
All right, you're listening to Soundscapes, KRVM. We're talking to Ethan Matthews and of Echo Us, and also previously of Greyhaven. And I have to say that I had the privilege of actually going to the Wall Hall one day, hearing about a kind of a prog group. So I went to see them, and it was Greyhaven. So Greyhaven left us some material, so Raymond and I would play it, and it was great. So Greyhaven has been a haven. Oh, yes, Greyhaven's been here on the air here before. Tell us some more about Greyhaven. This was back when you were a teenager, right?
Yeah, I was started the band in late '96 with my guitarist buddy from school that I had met, and we were both kind of just about 17 years old, kind of just enthralled with a lot of the same music. I mean, everything from metal and to soundtracks to progressive rock and all kinds of stuff. And we ended up jamming with his friend who was a drummer. God, we did other than, the gig you mentioned, we did a few other gigs here in town. We did some gigging on the East Coast eventually after we found our singer, and it was Brian Francis. And it was really like one of those times in life where everything kind of just comes together, basically.
So you were playing guitar on that, right?
Yeah, I did the guitar, and Nate Howard also played guitar and did some of the composition.
Well, this guitar work is totally different than your work with on Echo Us.
Yes, yeah, totally.
And it's interesting because I did an interview with the guy from a group from Norway, and White Willow. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with White Willow?
I know the name. I don't think I've heard him.
And he would compose music during the day or play progressive rock, but then on the weekends for money he'd go out and play death metal on his guitar, So it reminds me of you. Do you ever go out there and play some Judas Priest out there? or Dream Theater? Or
not as much.
Clearly you can.
Back then it was. I as a guitarist, I've always been. Back then I was real close to being as good, in terms of all the sweet picked arpeggios and all that stuff. Yeah. But I was always much more into guys like, from David Gilmour to Steve Rothery, Marillion, people like that. Really slow, emotional stuff. So,
yeah.
And that's kind of where my guitar has gotten. I picked up some more acoustic guitar along the way. But
so do you feel that you're not going to ever return to that thrashy, headbanging kind of stuff?
Me and the singer actually have been of Greyhaven, Brian, have been friends for years, and ever since this, since we released the album, and we kind of wanted to at times, but our drummer, actually is on the other side of the world, or the other side of the country, I should say, and it just, as far as for me going back to doing metal, I really couldn't. I don't know that I have it in me anymore.
I understand what you mean, yeah.
I went through this. I wanted to get into really simple music and pop music, and then, even simpler ambient and stuff like that. And now I've kind of gotten much more back into, taking from classical music. I'm a big Stravinsky fan, for instance, and in areas like that.
Didn't he write The Rites of Fall?
Rite of Spring.
I know. Yes, it's fall now.
It is.
Yeah, it's my time to play with the fall time I always play Straub's Autumn. You know that song? That song?
I'm
Autumn?
familiar with Straub's, but not the song.
Oh, I gotta play that for you then.
Okay.
I'll play that. Do you have a radio? we have to say goodbye in a little while, but because Ethan's headed back to Portland, but you should be able to listen to it for a little while.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll play it for you.
Cool.
All right. Okay. Yes, really enjoyed that number a lot, and we had a couple of headbangers in the other room going, "Hey, dig it! This is good. This is good stuff." Yeah, who did this? I said, "Oh, that was Ethan." And the thing, same guy. Wow.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, it'd be wonderful if you ever get back together and play the Wild Hall again.
Yeah, well, I mean, the guys they've got other things going on now. Life has changed, but I mean, for me, life hasn't changed that much. I'm a music freak, and I'll keep probably doing it until I can't for some reason.
Great. Okay, well, let's talk about the future in a little bit. Let me just get rid of this business here, and then we'll move on.
Rebroadcast at 90.1 K211 BP Florence, in HD at 92.1 KSYD Reedsport, at 88.5 KAVE Oak Ridge, and in HD, this is 91.9 KRVM, Eugene, Springfield.
And streaming on the internet at krvm.org.
That's Ken. That's our music director. He's been working in radio forever, and he's got that great pronounced radio voice. He knows exactly how to use the microphone. Oh, great! Always good to hear that. Raymond used to do Raymond's, but they took Raymond, who used to be the music director here for a little while. He's down in Ashland right now. We still hear from him once in a while. He's threatening to come back and do the show again sometime.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Do a guest spot on the show. Hey, Raymond, if you're listening out there. Okay, so I want to talk to you just a little bit. Well, okay, what we're going to do then is I'm going to play, people probably want to hear a little more music, and then we'll come back and say goodbye, but let's do a little bit of intro on this, and then after this you tell us about what you're up to now and where you're going, besides Portland.
Yeah, besides.
Okay.
Well,
and what is this song we're about to hear?
This is called Nightlight. It's as yet going to be on the next album of Echo Us, which doesn't really have a title yet, but the music is 100% complete, and I'm just getting done with mixing. So this is a mix. Is this a
debut then? Can our listener here say that they heard it first?
Their first
on
time.
Soundscapes. Well, that's great. Okay. All right. Nightlight here on KRVM.